the thing, the Battlefield 5 live reveal right now. Let's go. Well, it's not live exactly, but first reaction.
Oh, thanks, Bram. You know, I've been playing Battlefield as long as I can remember. And over the past 16 years, these games have come a long way. From 1942 to Bad Company to Battlefield 4 and up to Battlefield 1. And today, I'm taking on the most important mission objective I've ever been a part of, telling all of you about Battlefield 5. I'm geared up, ready to go. My squad's out there, so let's deploy because we are live in London. Let's get the show started.
Wow. 16 years of Battlefield. This is Bad Company. I have it, but I haven't played it. Oh, I played this. Vietnam. And of course, 1942.
Welcome everyone to the Battlefield 5 live reveal. I'm your host for this evening, Trevor Noah, and I'm so excited to be here introducing this new edition of Battlefield, which for some reason everyone has already assumed is Battlefield 5. And not Battlefield V. Could be V, why not V? Battlefield V could be just as good. Yeah, I do love that fans on Twitter are actually changing the V's in their profiles for this game, something my mother did many years ago ahead of the curve. And most people don't know this, but the V in my name is actually a 5. Yeah, my name is actually pronounced Trev5 or Noah. Very unique. As a huge fan of these games, I've always loved how captivating the Battlefield is. And today, you'll see that Battlefield 5 has the most immersive battlefield ever. If you've ever been in a battle with me, you know that I'm the most dedicated support class you will ever meet. I'm in the mud, repairing the tanks. You know, I'm laying down mines as tank rushers come in. One time, I even repaired a plane mid-air that might be alive, but I'm sticking with it. Because you see, I love that glorious joy of being the uncelebrated hero in a battle. And this game is going to have tons of moments like that. There are so many new and exciting features coming to you in Battlefield 5 that you will learn about today. The next level of large-scale multiplayer, Battlefield 5 single-player war stories, and we'll start showing you the epic post-launch journey all players will experience when the game is finally released. And you know, we've got some other surprises, so why waste time? Let's get straight into it and get the show started. I'm joined now by the producers of Battlefield 5, Andreas Morel, Ryan MacArthur, and Lars Gustafsson, everybody! Gentlemen, I'm not here as a professional or anything. I am here as a gamer. I am here as a Battlefield player. I am here to ask only the questions I am interested in. You have made a horrible mistake.
I knew it, I told you.
Let's start at the beginning. You are taking players back to where the Battlefield franchise started, World War II. Now, at this point, are you like those guys, you know, those elderly pilots that they find on an island in the Pacific, you know, who think that the war never ended? Is that who you are right now?
It did. It ended. You told me. Wish I'd break it to you, Jeffrey Lars.
But Lars, why go back to that now?
To be honest with you, it's really, I mean, we yearned for years to go back to where it all started about 16 years ago. And, you know, technology has evolved and the team has gained so much experience that this is really the game we wanted to build, and that we did.
It's really something that the guys back home at DICE is really passionate about, the whole era. Just ask Mr. Battlefield, he was there.
Right, Mr. Battlefield, that's Lars' nickname, by the way. I'm known as Madame Battlefield.
Epic.
Now, players have experienced World War II in so many movies and in games. It's really difficult to come up with a new and fresh perspective. What perspective are you bringing to it with this version of Battlefield? Andreas, will this be more Saving Private Ryan or Inglourious Basterds?
So we've seen all the movies, you know, we play the games, we've been there. I'm pretty sure at least I can navigate half of France without a map just by playing the games. so for us, going back to where it all began for us is really about delivering a World War II experience that no one's never seen before. Really kind of hitting on the unseen locations, the untold stories, the unplayed moments.
Yeah, I mean, for us, it's really taking you on the journey from the start. And at the go, you will be able to play the German forces, the British forces, and we want to take you on that journey, you know, to exotic places like freezing Scandinavia, it's kind of our home turf, but in Norway, or rugged deserts where the battles took place in northern Africa. Or why not to the ruins of the once so beautiful Rotterdam? So it's really to take you on a journey. And we want to do this with a kind of a fresh and modern take, so really hopefully surprise the players, but also to please them.
You've given me a sneak peek, and so many words come to my mind. I mean, intense, immense, powerful. Ryan, do you have a specific way that you want players to see this Battlefield?
Well, I think the best way we can describe it is immersive. I mean, this needs to feel like the most immersive Battlefield that players have ever played. I mean, we want them to exploit the Battlefield in ways they've never been able to before. I mean, when you look at the chaotic multiplayer that the franchise is known for, and sort of fan classics like Conquest, and some of the new modes that the guys are working on, like Airborne, you know, we're going back with war stories, sort of that anthology storytelling that we had, we built in BF1, and telling new stories about men and women that change history. I mean, we get to tell everyone today that co-op is back in Battlefield 5, and that's a huge thing for us. And this is just the beginning. I mean, launch is just the beginning for this game, and we really want to take players on a journey through World War II.
It always feels like it's a journey. That's what it always feels like with Battlefield. Like, one thing I loved about the game was how the maps on the world was constantly changing. You know, it felt like my bedroom at home. I never knew what to expect. And I think when looking at this game, Andreas, what's your vision to take this to the next level?
So we're really building on what we started with previous games. It's really about giving players the most immersive world that they could enter. You should really be grounded in it. Expanding on the movement set that we've done so well, really pushing all these new features that we're going to be talking about.
Right, it sounds great. I'm genuinely excited. I have a few highlights that I'm looking forward to. Let's dive into it and talk about some of the gameplay. Here to do that is Daniel Berlin.
In Battlefield 5, we're expanding the toolbox for the player, giving you access to new abilities to create your own and brand new Battlefield moments. Now there's a deeper connection between the player and the world around you. You will be physically pushed by the shockwaves from explosions. You can experience completely new ways to traverse and tactically maneuver across the battlefield with our overhauled movement system. Our renowned destruction will rip up the terrain, leave chunks of masonry, or have high caliber rounds with straight through walls to take out enemies hiding inside. We're also bringing back classic modes such as Majority Rule Conquest, but we also have new modes and experiences for our unique take on World War II. We're bringing back operations with a bang, and we're calling it Grand Operations. Here, you'll experience multiple game modes as you fight over multiple maps, all wrapped within our narrative journey through historically inspired battles from World War II. With the return of our anthology format for single-player war stories, with new characters to meet and untold stories to discover. Back to you, Trevor.
Now, Daniel just talked about a new multiplayer experience called Grand Operations. And I'm really excited because it sounds to me like you can pilot a giant grand piano like a tank. I'm pretty certain that's what it is, right, Andreas?
I'm not sure about the piano, but it's definitely massive. It's really about reliving all these power fantasies from World War II, like Airborne being power dropped in, and it's
Sounds like
operations from Battlefield 1, but bigger.
Holy.
It's really good.
Yeah, I mean, what we want players to feel like is sort of a dynamic player-impacted experience, taking place over 4 fictional days. I mean, day 1 starts with you jumping out of an airplane and with the objective to destroy the enemy artillery, with that enemy sort of entrenching themselves to defend and protect. And depending on how the outcome of day 1 goes for you, as the two main forces start to battle over day 2 in a game of breakthrough, with the number of lives you have left remaining, depending on what you did the day before. And then as you continue to push on into new locations, we're going to see things like Conquest Assault, where players continue to fight for that terrain. And assuming, when we see these players end up in a giant stalemate, then they're going to enter day 4, which is Final Stand. And I mean, this is sort of tired, muddy, no resources left. You've got just you, your squad, and one clip, and you all fight to the last man standing with the weight of the world on your shoulders.
So this is a game mode that you may never see if your games are not in a stalemate. You may never get to that 4th map and 4th story then.
Exactly.
That's an exciting way to play the game. I want to know when we can see more of that.
2 weeks. EA Play, Los Angeles. You get hands-on multiplayer for the first time if you're there.
So even the reveal of Grand Operation spans across multiple events. Wow.
I'll be right back. Just be right back. Okay. Oh, sorry. Sorry about that. Now, I am personally excited for this game. I truly this will be amazing. But I'm just hoping and that like Japan will be in the game. It's part of my fraction. So I'm will be in this game. So yeah. Like I mean, if this doesn't work out, I always have Postscriptum and Hell Let Loose, but still, which I also like and I might play. Like, but still, well, I don't actually have Postscriptum. So,
Nice one, guys. I have to say, I heard you guys say that co-op is back, and that's one of my favorite aspects of Battlefield 1. Lars, can you tell me more about that mode?
I definitely can. I mean, I'm happy to say that for the first time since Battlefield 3, co-op is back, and we're calling it Combined Arms.
that might be the most clever use of that. That's clever. That's genuinely clever. The Combined Arms is an actual thing.
And here it's yet another way to experience that Battlefield sandbox, next to our war stories and the multiplayer. And what we want to do here is to...
Let's see, none of those people look like real, actual soldiers. Like, this guy... Okay, so let's see. This guy's got a Bren. I think that's a Bren. It's either a Bren machine gun or a Type 99. Oh, light machine gun. That guy's got a... I was gonna say that's a Garand, but it doesn't look like a Garand. It's either a Garand... It actually kind of looks like a Springfield. Nah, I think it's... Same with that woman. For some reason. Oh, well. He looks almost like one of the, face paint. The face paint, I don't believe is accurate, but there's a Thompson.
You and up to 3 players to go online and step into those shoes of the Pathfinders, those paratroopers that go in behind the enemy lines. And here you really only have the soldier next to you, maybe not Brian, but the soldier next to you to rely upon as you move forward, since, getting detected might mean death, and you will soon be struck. Resource scarcity, you need to find the tools and find your way to the objective. So stakes are high, and you need to kind of assess, can I push through or do we need to extract early? It's kind of win or lose. It's up to you.
I've been a huge fan of war stories, the single-player campaign in Battlefield 1. What I truly enjoyed about it was I felt like I was learning about the stories behind the war and playing through the stories of the war, and it didn't always end well. And what I loved is, because of that history element, like, for instance, I told my little brother, I said, hey, if Mom ever catches you playing, just say this is a history class that you're doing on the console. And then what I'd do is I'd tell my mom he was going to do that so she would know that I was always her favorite. And what was great was seeing this story. Lars, like, how is single player going to change in Battlefield 5?
Don't tell this to my kids. Well, hardly changing. I mean, to me, I'm happy that you like the war stories. And for us, the war stories are really our opportunity to put the war into perspective. It's really about those human and untold stories of the war. And we try to portray those kind of real and relatable people facing epic warfare. And it's Battlefield after all, so we'll be talking a lot here today about the gameplay improvements. So player agency is key, so you can create your own battlefield moments. And at the bottom line, it's about allowing you to witness the Second World War, but through the eyes of the men and women that changed the world.
Yeah, I mean, as you can see here, I mean, this is one of the war stories that we're going to be talking about first. I mean, this is our Nordlys story. This is the story of a young woman who is part of the Norwegian resistance fighters fighting the German occupation during World War II. I mean, this is an exploration of emotion and feelings. It's a family story, right? You know, and this not only sort of really grounds the players in the reality, but sort of sets the context of the World War II that we're trying to create at DICE.
I just want to pause for a second and like tell you guys something. Like, I'm personally hoping that if there's an Axis campaign, they treat them as. I'm hoping that there isn't a. And while I don't condone what any side like, I don't. Thank you. Like, I personally think like they should like try to make the like they could show there might be war crimes, but like, I hope they like report with like human, like to give all sides humanity. Like no side is like just evil, and that it's a common misconception. No, I'm not a neo-Nazi. I do not condone. They do. It's like they're all bad. Like they're like the worst elements. They worship the worst elements of it. And I'm sorry, I'll get back to the game.
Not often that you find stories that connect with the emotion of the characters in the story. Instead of just focusing on the explosions and the gunfire, you see that look in her eyes. You want to know what she's thinking, what she's experiencing in that story. Why was it so important for you to focus on the people behind the stories from war?
Well, I think it's important to tell, sort of believable and sort of honest stories and really sort of set the context and sort of maintain that connection to the world that we're trying to create. I think it's important for people to understand where we're coming from and what our particular take is on World War II.
So what we're going to do right now is we're going to go back to Daniel now to cover what you'll take to the battlefield with you.
In Battlefield 5, we're aiming to mirror the immense arsenal of the Second World War. This was a period that saw an explosion in terms of innovation when it comes to weapons and vehicles. You will get to fly iconic airplanes, engage in incredible tank battles, and also unleash secret weapons from World War II.
Reminds me of one of their DLCs from the first game. But I was just like, wait, what did they say? They said something.
Engage in incredible tank battles, and also unleash
Hold on, they said something I just want to like comment.
Arsenal of the Second World War. This was a period that saw an explosion in terms of innovation.
Oh yes, there we go. That's the quote I was looking for. Basically, back in World War II, like during World War I and World War II, was probably like some of the most innovative periods of human history, like the most innovation. Like out of World War II, let's see what we got. We got the main battle tank. We got like modern aircraft carriers. We got radar. We got jet aircraft. Let's see. We basically got assault rifles and like, more development of battle rifles, which are different from assault rifles because they use more powerful bursts. Like the Scar L is an assault rifle, but the Scar H is a battle rifle because it uses a 7.16 NATO. Can't remember, but
When it comes to weapons and vehicles. You will get to fly iconic airplanes, engage in incredible tank battles, and also unleash secret weapons from World War II. Weapons that are powerful enough to turn the tide of any battle.
sounds like the Super Yamato. I'm really hoping the Yamato or Super Yamato will be.
And with the new fortification system, you can be more strategic than ever in how you choose to defend or advance through the terrain. Back to you guys.
You know, in playing Battlefield, I know everyone in the audience will agree with me, people at home as well. I've always been impressed by the level of realism in the game. I remember once I was playing with a friend who served in Special Forces, and we were talking about our favorite guns, and I was talking about the recoil and what I liked about the sights versus other guns. And he turned to me at one point and he said, "Oh, where did you serve?" And I felt embarrassed because I was like, "Oh, Battlefield 3. That's where I was." And instead of him being angry, he was like, I didn't know that there was a game that was that immersive, something that really
on.
was as true to real without being...
Hold on. Yes. Sorry, but this would. Okay. Sorry.
a war simulation as possible. Guys, tell me about some of your favorite weapons in the game, some of the new vehicles that will be available in Battlefield 5.
I think at first, just by going back to this era, the pool of hardware that we can choose from is immense. There's so much there. And for me, being a vehicle guy, it's really quite a simple choice. It's the Tiger 1.
The Tiger 1 tank.
Yeah, I think it's the most iconic tank from this era. I just think it's amazing.
That's the Sturm Tiger, and it was the SK, I think, 251. I think that's what it's called, yeah. This is the Sturm Tiger. But yeah, personally, my favorite tank might be the Tiger 2. I think the Tiger 1 used to be my favorite, but I think it's just, like, its appearance has shrank on me. It's the opposite of grow.
What do you like about it? That's a weird choice for me.
Have you seen it? I think it's the best.
What, like the looks?
A bit, but also
Are you saying that? Are you checking out a tank?
Have you been in a battle with that?
Yeah, but I've never looked at it. I'm like, if I'm on the outside, I'm dying. If I'm on the inside, I'm concentrating. When are you looking? When are you doing
You
this?
should try a third-person camera.
And just run around the tank dying, and everyone's going to be like, "Who's that guy looking at the tank?"
It's come on, it's beautiful.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, good.
So Andreas is a tank guy. Mr. Battlefield Laws, how about you?
I'm with you, Trevor.
Yeah, you think he's weird. I know. Yeah.
We've been trying to hide it. Now it's out. No, the fact that I'm also a support player. I can't hit the barn from the inside, so I need the big clips. And for me, the MG42 is really the weapon I play in the playtest.
Right, my man.
It has that iconic sound that sends fear all over the map. And another part of it is the new kind of system which Daniel talked about for high caliber weapons. So previously, I could make the same impact as a pistol, basically. But this time around, it comes with a punch. So where the pistol gets stuck in the wall, I can rip through. So I can finally make a difference on the battlefield.
Hashtag no more knocking. I like this. All right, so we've got a tank guy. We've got a weapons guy. Ryan?
Hold on again.
well, sort of embarrassing to admit, unlike Lars, I can't hit a barn, period. So for me, it's the toolbox. In Battlefield 1, all players had a gas mask. In Battlefield 5, we're going to replace that gas mask with a toolbox. So that means I can run around the battlefield with my toolbox, setting up fortifications, and sort of really changing the dynamic of the battlefield so that these guys who can actually hit something, I can offer some value on the playing field.
Wait. So fortifications, you just skimmed over that, but what is fortifications?
Well, I mean, this as a support player, I mean, I think this is something you really love. It's something I think is a great addition to the game. It really allows you to sort of, for players who want to focus on the objective. I mean, this is something you can sort of pull out your toolbox. You can build reinforcements. You can reinforce buildings that Andreas has destroyed with his tank. You can build foxholes and set up machine guns so people like Lars can sit there and camp out at choke points. I mean, this is going to change the strategic way people play, both as attackers and defenders.
Was that in response to the gaming community? Because I know as a Battlefield gamer, I always wanted what I didn't have. So first I was going, hey guys, I need destruction. I need places to fall apart. And then at some point I was like, too much destruction. Like there's nothing left. Was this a response?
Yeah, I mean, we've had a lot of esteemed players in here in the studio today and in the community overall who, at some point, especially when we're testing, we came to a point where the level was leveled. The one was leveled and you couldn't advance. So basically, this is to counter that and give you an additional kind of toolbox to rebuild. And then you and I can come in as heroes again, and they fortify. We come there and we add an extra heavy machine gun or an AA gun. So it's kind of teamwork once again, and we are the celebrated heroes.
We are the celebrated heroes we deserve to be. I like that, Lars. Thank you. Now that we've learned about the tools, let's hear about the company. Here to tell us more, please welcome Natalie Ek.
And yes, the company is something that is completely new to Battlefield 5. It's your personal collection of customized soldiers, weapons, and vehicles that you can tailor and grow as you play. The company is the heart and soul of your personal experience, and the choices you make here for your company actually matters. Not only will your choices affect the way you look, but also how your weapons and vehicles play. As you squad up with your friends, make sure to pick a soldier that complements the rest of your squad to take on the battle ahead. And during the game, adapt to the changing circumstances by calling your company and bring in the right soldier, weapon, or vehicle to suit your situation. Back to you, Trevor.
Andreas, that really sounds awesome. Tell me more about the company and how it works, because I know from my years in Battlefield that the group that really plays together stays together.
No, the company is something that we're super excited about. For the first time, you can now create your own personal experience with the soldiers you take onto the battlefield. It's really up to you to decide how you want them to play and also how they look. So as you keep playing and you get better, your soldiers will get better with you.
So give me an example of how this would impact me as a support class.
So if you take your support class player you want, and you start playing with that soldier, and you start progressing him, you're going to unlock a set of new abilities, new perks, and sort of these new exotic ways to play the game as a support class, and then unlock new weapons for yourself to play with. You take that machine gun that Lars loves so much, and you level that machine gun up. You make the choices that matter, and then you decide, well, I think this needs its own custom paint job. So you sort of make that machine gun, really make it your own, and then you go in and you grab that sort of iconic support outfit that you really want to wear going into battle. You jump in with some friends, and off you go.
It's funny you brought up customization, because I've always believed in Battlefield the team is important, but looking badass is the most important thing. I think anyone who's been in war can agree with this.
No.
Please tell me that I can customize my look to be properly badass in the battlefield.
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, if it's worth doing looking good.
Right.
So I think, part of the tactical gameplay that comes with Battlefield, I mean, what we want to do is give you the ability...
Okay, this image kind of looks shitty, but I think this might be... Ow. Wait, no, what? Go back. Hold on. Sorry, something happened. I didn't... Something happened. And now I'm fucking confused. Sorry. Black Ops 4. I do not think that it will go well. Come on, PlayStation. You have to have known. I would think they would have learned their lesson from last time. Like, if they don't, they're probably just going to learn it now, because I don't think Call of Duty will be successful. This might be the one time Call of Duty will genuinely lose in the sales war to Battlefield. It never has before. Not even Battlefield 1 beat Infinite Warfare, but I don't understand what the is happening. They cut it off? Like, why is... Hold on. That's the ending. Or clear... It's almost like it hurt me. There we go. Here we go. Let's go here. What song are they gonna have for drop? This is better than I ever thought. This is like really strong. Marketing will basically guarantee a game's success. Like, if marketing will make or break a game. And I don't think they made a game. Like, I don't. They might be. Are they using a new engine? It almost looks like it. Frostbite 4. I swear they're using. I almost think they're. I think they're using photorealism. Somewhat. If they're not using it, I'm going to be confused. Like, this looks pretty. It might not look this way in the game, but it's gonna look. Hey, like, it's gonna look good, and that's the. Like, graphics don't matter, but they definitely add to the enjoyment. Why is it not playing? Don't tell me why Wi-Fi broke. War Thunder trailer.
Please tell me that I can
Oh,
customize my look to be properly badass in the battlefield.
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, if it's worth doing looking good.
Right.
So I think, part of the tactical gameplay that comes with Battlefield, I mean, what we want to do is give you the ability to create your own personal identity. So, no more anonymous soldiers. This is your soldiers in their boots going into battle. Their own weapons, customized the way that you want to do it.
I have a feeling that right, like sorry to interrupt him, but like I see like women soldiers and like I don't really care, but like people like Rags and like what's his name? Freedom Tunes, that guy, Seamus something. Like, they're gonna be like super mad at the fact that you can like play it all. It's like, come on, man. I mean, like, I can't in the Soviet Union. Like, they were actually like, I think, female combatants like that. In Warhammer 4, there should be like a thing like there should be like women can fight too. Like, it's weird. It's not.
The gear that you want them to wear. I mean, this is going to feel like it's your own personal arsenal.
And obviously, I want to get as much of that arsenal as I can possibly get. How do I even begin getting all of this gear?
You play the game. I mean, for what we want players is you get rewarded for playing the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty short. It's whatever you want to progress towards, your company, your class, or a specific item, you play the game. And we set out to commit to that you always feel rewarded for what you do, whatever you play.
So you just play to unlock these items. Then I guess I have to ask, and I know it's a sensitive subject, but I'm still going to go there. Is this game going to be pay to win?
No, you can't pay to get an unfair gameplay advantage.
What if
in
I have a lot of money?
Well,
So you won't be able to pay?
No. So in Battlefield, it's always been about balanced rock, paper, scissors gameplay, and it still is. You really have to, like Les was saying, you have to play the game to earn new gear, and skill is really key.
Okay, but what about Premium Pass? Will it be one of those games where I have to shell out another $50 6 months after I've bought the game? Is that how it works?
Well, I guess I get the fun part of not taking any more of your money as well. But no, there's no more premium pass in this game. This means no more.
Wait, so the DLCs will be free, or like what do they mean? Like that's an interesting thing. Like, there's no more premium pass. Like, I'm gonna not have to pay much for the stuff. Like, it's just gonna be in the game. Like, the DLCs will come out later, but I won't have to pay for them. This is gonna be like, if they stick the landing, which Battlefield has historically, and I don't want to jinx it, but I think they've historically been very good at sticking the landing with these things, like unlike these other franchises. This is the one that's been the least, had the least amount of screw-ups. Like, well, I mean, I know what happened with BF4 and BF3, basically, like, the game was broken. But besides that, I think I bought the game too late to experience it. Well, too late to experience either of them. Experience that. But maybe I'm glad. The lag was a significant problem for most of my Battlefield history. I've gotten so unused to lag in video games now. I genuinely get frustrated when even a tiny bit of lag happens. Which should kind of be the norm.
Wow.
Thank you. It's the least I can do.
thank you.
Yes. I mean, this means no more paying for maps, no more paying for modes. This is something the community has asked for. This is something the team really believes in. So what we want is a game where people stay together, they play the games together, and they get to go on this journey through World War II together.
That's beautiful. That means I finally lose my nickname, No Maps Noah. This is so dope. All right, well, it's time to learn about what happens after the game launches. So, to tell us all about live service, please welcome back Natalie and Daniel.
I don't remember Daniel.
So launch is really just the beginning. Tides of War is an epic journey that you and your company will take through World War II. It will bring you an evolving, diverse game that will grow over time as we immerse you and your company in different theaters of war. Playing Battlefield 5 is an experience unlike any other. It will differ from all previous Battlefield games, and the most important thing, it's open to all players.
Yes, and there will always be new battles, new fronts, and rewards on the horizon.
And what was that last word? But yeah, I'm excited. Like, my main thing is being Pacific, naval battles, because naval battles were something they did back in 1942, but they didn't have a lot of stuff, and they were always and then forward and turning tides is basically, I kind of see it more as a setup to a potential naval region, island hopping. I would actually like alternate history scenarios. For example, the Japanese they win at Midway. They crush the American fleets, basically. So basically, they have free roam over the entire Pacific. Potentially being able to even invade Hawaii. They're basically able to do all this stuff with free reign. They have free control, and they're invading all places. For example, when Guadalcanal happens, they win. They could be maybe invade Hawaii, and if potentially this could also be a good scenario. Invade the mainland. The Japanese did actually conquer some places on the actual American continent, although they're more islands, Aleutians. Aleutians? I don't think I pronounce it right. They're on they're in Alaska, so basically the Japanese conquered them around the time of Midway. They were actually said to be a distraction mission with like the Rio, and basically like yeah, it worked, but like a problem was that like one of the Zeros shut down, but the Americans captured it. And this is how they made the Hellcat. Although it might not been the best plane to use it, because they had like some features like that hindered its performance. So Mato's, I mean, I keep thinking of I said Yamato. The Zero's true performance didn't get revealed till like later. And I think this is like the thing. Like Americans valued like armor over everything, which is ironic because like none of their tanks really do that. Ow. I think that this will be big. I'm still so excited for Trade Wars. Oh god.
Moving Premium Pass, we are keeping the community together.
Yeah.
So this time, there will be no expansion packs, and all players will be able to take part in the same journey through Battlefield 5. And with Tides of War, our players will experience themed chapters of World War II, each spanning over several months. And these will focus on key moments that impacted the outcome of the conflict. Trevor?
I was about to say, it reminds me, like, the vagueness of what it is kind of reminds me of Operation Clausewitz, which was, like, a thing at the end of World War II. Basically, like, this is a place, and they mention it a bit in the horror movie Downfall, you know, the one with all the Hitler parodies. But basically, yeah, like that. Yeah, so basically, like, mention it, but they don't. But no one really knows what it was, and you can't ask anyone. The people who would know are dead, like all of them. The last guy died in like 2013. He was the only guy to see the actual movie itself, although I don't know if he watched it. But like he wouldn't know if you asked him, like because he was just a telephonist. He didn't do it. The two guys I do know, guys all died around the same time, like 2001, 2002, 2003, respectively. Will Moncare, Trotty Young, and Otto Gunsche. Moncare was a general. Let's see. I think Purdy was assistant. Yeah, he was. And then Gunsche was bodyguard, and like all the due to their jobs, but like they all died. You can't ask them. I bet someone did, but there's probably like there might be a file. Actually, no, I doubt it. That might have actually been Clausewitz to burn all the files.
This sounds to me like a wild, full ride through World War II, but Lars, like, how big of a journey will this be?
How long is the string? No, I mean, to put it into perspective, this was World War. And, I mean, to me, it's going to be a huge journey. I mean, we want to take you on that journey with chapters from the history. And at the end of it, we really want you to be kind of experiences daily, weekly, and monthly events leading up to kind of the pinnacle of the grand operations and experience to achieve those special assignments, getting treated with extra rewards. So it is about keeping it fresh and constantly evolving, since what we see here and talk about here today is just the beginning. And as you play it through, you start to be taken to a new horizon, new locations, new gameplay, and, I mean, stick in for the ride.
It sounds like it's going to be one of those experiences where the more I play, the more cool stuff I can get. I get rewarded for my time. Is that going to be across different modes?
It's really simple. You just have to play the game to earn your cool gear. And it doesn't matter if it's multiplayer or combined arms. Like you see here, you will be able to earn new vehicles, new weapons. It's going to be dog tags and soldier skins, weapon skin. It's all there to really customize your crew to really be standing out on the battlefield the way you want it to be.
Right, it sounds amazing, and I only have one question, and that is, when does this all start?
Well, the game launches in October. So starting November, running through early 2019, we're going to start with our first chapter, which is going to focus on the fall of Europe. So we're gonna explore sort of the German mechanized war machine as it pushes its way into Europe. This is going to be live gameplay focused events. We're going to have thematic rewards tied to this. You know, we can't wait to talk to the community more about this between as we lead up to launch.
I'm not gonna lie.
This game might have the longest lifespan of any game. Like, I swear this might. Like, the fact that if people actually stay interested in this might be. Also, here's an interesting fact about the German machine. Like, there were definitely a lot of mechanized units, and they do deserve a lot of, like, almost all of them. They deserve, as they were, like, the guys who pushed up ahead. But, unfortunately, like, most of the German army was not mechanized. Or motorized. It was actually, according to some people, I've heard it was one of the least. Yeah, and like, it had like a lot of horses and a lot of rail, which rail actually isn't inherently like backwards. Like, I know it's been used for a while, but we still use rail now, so is it backwards? Like, you have to ask that. But like, another question is, like, another thing about the mechanized though is that a lot of German tanks have been called inferior. Well, like, it's like 6 main tanks. Well, 6 tanks that the Germans use. There's the Panzerkampfwagen. I don't think I pronounced that one right. I don't think I pronounced it right. Panzerkampfwagen 1, Panzerkampfwagen 2. But basically, the one had like machine guns, like 7.9 machine guns, which was used as a tank, but ended up being stopped. It actually came into existence the same, like, or brought to service the same year, mind you, that Hitler became chancellor, which might be ironic. Then there's the Panzerkampfwagen 2, which I believe came out in 1936. Yeah. Sorry. This had a 20mm autocannon. It was like one of the more primary tanks, like, of the fall. There was the 35, I think 35T. It was Czech, basically. This tank was actually Czech. It was like, it was powerful, but it was kind of reliable, and there weren't a lot of them. So basically, like, there's the Panzerkampfwagen 38T, I think, which was based on the Panzerkampfwagen 38T, but it was like better, I think. It was like more reliable and like, upgraded and stuff. It was the Panzerkampfwagen Panzerkampfwagen 30T would be used until Barbarossa, but it eventually became the inspiration for the Jagdpanzer 30T, also known to most people as the Hetzer. And then, like, and then there's the Panzerkampfwagen 3, which is like one of the most famous. Like, basically, they're like, this is like their most powerful general thing. They have like an 37mm anti-tank gun, like the main tank. It's basically like an equivalent of the Suma S5. And then there's the Panzerkampfwagen 4, which is like the only tank to be produced from the beginning to the end of the war. This had a short 7.5mm gun, and it was basically more used as an artillery, like a support unit than a like main battle tank. It would eventually become like not main battle, but like eventually become like a normal tank around like 1942. Yeah, 1942 when they got the longs and like the Panzer 3 and 4 kind of all. They remind me of the Hago and the Igo Japanese tanks. Like, one had a short 7mm gun, and the other had like a long anti-tank 37mm gun. But anyway, back to the thing.
You guys have definitely raised my analog stick, and I think we've waited long enough. This is the most immersive battlefield yet in a World War II you have never seen before, where launch is just the beginning of the journey. I'm done talking. I think it's time we see this thing. Are you all ready?
This thing is like, this video is laggy, and I do not want that. Like, it's a little laggy. So I don't know how to make it stop being laggy. Maybe this might be a way. I don't know if it's the video. Force quit. Okay. I'm just gonna be deleting stuff. Sorry. Maybe I'll do like one more. Oh, get rid of this. That could be good. I'll do like, sorry about this. Like, just ignore that. I know. I'm sorry. Where am I? And I think we're ready. Okay, guys. Three, two, one.
Well, here it is, ladies and gentlemen, for the first time ever, the reveal trailer for Battlefield 5.
So this better be good. What the fuck? Hold on. Wait. Get out. Hold on. You know what? No. Oh, wait. No, this is a... Let's... Wait. No. It's been
To
uploaded.
take on to the battlefield. It's really up to you to decide.
All right, let me ask
Hold on. Not sponsoring this
you a really
guy.
important question. Imagine you just had 3 We didn't choose
Don't,
to be different.
I don't.
To take a stand.
To betray our masters.
To pull the trigger. You did.
That's weird. If this is wrong, I will punch you. Okay, this looks... Oh my god. What? Oh god. Oh! They're dead! Oh god. What's happening? It's all because this is... Almost sounds like he's looking at... Oh god, his tiger just... Bridge down. Oh my god, BF-109 crashed. Oh, that happened. The guy go. That was the. Oh my. Oh my. You cannot do that. What I'd like to see one of them. Rocket. Oh my god, a V1. I was about to say it exploded, but I didn't see it. What's up? Where is you?
Hello, old
Wait.
friend.
How do you remember? Also, this is the market. The most epic thing in existence.
Games play best on Xbox One.
I do not. Oh. Just gonna check if they just released the. Oh my god. Back to the video. Like, that's easily the most epic trailer alive. Like Call of Duty will never
Hello, old friend.
like they will never make a trailer so insane, so fast-paced, so epic, yet so core details. Like, basically, like, you watching this, like, this is not as close as epic. Like, how did they make World War II more fast-paced than the future? It's amazing. Let's see, what else? I was gonna say something. Yeah. I think, is it realistic? I think so. All the vehicles and weapons are realistic. They're flying all around, but I think that could be done. Like, that might be actually more realistic than most Call of Duty trailers. I'm not spoiling this. And I apologize if you don't believe me, but it's true.
Games play best on Xbox One.
Wow. Wow. The car, the thing, the man, the boo. You saw the thing, the man, the huh? I hope they got insurance. That was insane. Do you see that?
I did say it.
That was, Andres, I don't feel like you saw it. I feel like you've seen it before.
I might have seen
The
it
person
before.
jumped on their back and then started shooting while moving on their back.
Yeah. It's cool. That's all I can say.
This is what happens when you live life in a tank, Andreas. That was exciting. Give it up for that one more time. That was an amazing trailer. Oh, wow.
Yeah, like, Call of Duty is, like, in disarray. Like, they're in, like, it's almost like Battle of the Bulge just failed spectacularly. Like, what are they gonna do? What can they do?
So, before we go, am I correct in saying there were some new animations there were some new moves that you could do in the game?
There's a few.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Andreas. Thank you,
No,
Andreas.
to be honest, as in, I think we should thank the team back home in Stockholm for
Huge call out.
helping us to get to this point. I think they are truly amazing. And the fans. Again, we've been waiting for this moment for so long to be able to reveal what we've been working on.
This is really packed with gameplay, and then, I mean, a lot of this is direct feedback from community, leading to a lot of these improvements. So it's a huge thank you.
Hold on. This
Face, hits the mark they're going for.
Yeah,
Say that
yeah,
without expecting.
I'm excited. I'm excited. Give it up for the people in Stockholm, please. Let's give it up for the people in Stockholm. Wow. Battlefield 5 launches worldwide on October 19th. In the meantime, these guys are giving away free expansion packs in Battlefield 1 and Battlefield 4. So just head to battlefield.com for all the details. And next up is EA Play on June 9th.
okay. I have it in the name of Cesar, but I don't have Final Stand. I'm gonna go just like type it. Oh, move. Like, there is no was that? Okay.
Where you'll see multiplayer for the very first time. And for Battlefield 5. To watch that trailer again, go to youtube.com/Battlefield. And if you want more info, join some of the team here with Xbox who are hosting an exclusive post.
So yeah, it is officially confirmed.
And Battlefield 4. So just head to battlefield.com for all the details. And next up is EA Play on June 9th, where you'll see multiplayer for the very first time. I hope all of you are as excited as I am for Battlefield 5. To watch that trailer again, Mixer.com/Xbox. That is our show for tonight. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. I'm Trevor Noah.
I think the stream is over. Like, so it ended. Okay, so guys, I think that this game will do great. Like, I think this game would be great, rather. But both. But this game, like, will be epic. Like, just by cover alone. It's weird. I find it weird, like, given the parachute drops, like, I kind of, and the String Tiger, I kind of almost think it's, I think it might be Market Garden. I like the area, it's like French countryside. I think it might be Market Garden. Or it could be Belgium. I don't know. But again, I don't say no, but we, like most people, like I don't know if anyone watching this will know. But yeah, like, my main hope is that for there to be, like Japanese faction, Japanese units and stuff, and campaigns involving the Pacific and stuff, which I know they probably will have, but still. Alright, I might give additional commentary one time. Yeah. Thank you. It's almost,